Well, I guess we now know why the chicken crossed the road after all these years, because there's no Chick-Fil-A if you're heading into Belfast on this side of the motorway. Now you can see the one and only Chick-Fil-A outside America over there in the services across the motorway, but you can't just dander over a motorway, of course. You need to head the whole way up to, I'm going to say, Stockman's Lane Junction, which is probably another 5 miles up the motorway, and then circle back round that way. So if you're heading into Belfast and you want to find out what the fuss is all about, these are opening up in a load of apple greens across Ireland over the coming months, but so far the only one is over here on the southbound lane of the M1 out of Belfast. So you need to do, and in traffic that can actually be a 20-minute round trip, so you'd have to drive right past it, down to Stockman's Lane, back up the other side of the carriageway. Now, if for some bizarre reason you enjoy standing in a 2-hour line to eat bog average chicken, the next Chick-fil-A is going to be opening at the services on the M2. Now again, if you know that apple green, for some reason every apple greens I know has one on each side of the road, apart from the one on the M2 where there's only an apple green heading out of Belfast. You're Temple Patrick bound, you're heading out of the city. So if you're heading into Belfast on the M2 and you want to use that apple green, particularly when the Chick-fil-A phenomenon hits in a couple of weeks' time, you're going to have to then go all the way to, I'm going to say, Sandy Knowes, which is about another 7 miles further down the M2, and then double back up on yourself. You're going to have to do about a 15-mile round trip just to go to that Chick-fil-A if you're heading into Belfast. And then to get back, you're going to have to then head back down the M2 to the Temple Patrick off slip, which is about another 4 or 5 miles, and then circle back in round on yourself. So if you've got kids pestering you to take you to this damn place, do keep in mind and make sure they're well aware of the hassle you're being put to because of the way the motorways are laid out here. Why don't they just build a bridge? That's what they need to do in that apple green. Either build another apple green on the other side of the road on the M2, or build a big bridge or a tunnel over to it. And the final thing to say about Chick-fil-A, if you're going to be heading up and down the motorway miles and miles out of your way to keep the kids happy over the next number of weeks, it does not open on a Sunday. This is in accordance with their group policy. Their 3,000 stores elsewhere in the world have this thing where they don't open Sunday. I thought it might be a little bit different when they come to Northern Ireland, just over that fence, but no, they also are closing on a Sunday. It's all to do with their religious belief.